Hello and welcome to today's Expert Chat. We have a special Wednesday edition today. My name is Melissa Kay Schulz. I'm the host of Australian Women in Business, and today I am joined by the lovely Christina. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well. I'm a bit hot and sweaty here in the tropics, but I've got the aircon on, so we're going to get this done. I just wanted to say the topic that we have today is probably one that's going to be relevant to many of our members. I know it's definitely relevant to me, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Today's topic is staying in shape whilst managing your business and your family.
Yes.
Yeah. So Christina, let's just start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do exactly, and obviously why you've chosen this topic.
Yes, so I'm a transformational nutrition coach and a digestive health expert. I want to say a little bit about what a coach is in comparison to a nutritionist, because that's something I'm getting asked often. So I do have the knowledge, like 70% of the knowledge of a nutritionist, but the difference is that I'm making sure that you achieve your goals. So that's then where the coach part comes in. So I do understand the problems, but then I go that step further than the nutritionist and just make sure that everything is you actually go there, like a sports coach. Yeah.
Okay, so a nutritionist will just give you the information that you need, but not necessarily support you to achieve your goals. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Got it.
So, and I have those two topics: nutrition and digestive health. Because that's something I'm personally quite passionate about because of my own past with that topic. But today I don't want to talk about digestive health. I thought it might be really helpful here in this group to talk about how, as you just said, how to manage business and family and everything that is thrown at us as women on the daily that we have to handle, because most of us cannot just focus on building their business. We just have a whole lot of other things in our environment that everyone's just looking to us and says, well, this household, you could do this much better, kids. And sometimes it's just really difficult to manage that all if you then also bring health in it. Because that then sometimes it seems like there's no time to also be healthy with all the other things.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can relate to that 100%. Just all the responsibilities that we have as women in a busy world that we live in. And then if we have families, if we have children, a lot of additional tasks. So taking care of ourselves and looking after ourselves and our health and staying in shape can feel like a real challenge when there's just simply too much to do.
Yes, it is. And it's the easiest thing to forget. Because,
why is that?
I don't know. I think I was thinking about this a lot, especially with my husband, is that so he can offload in the evening. I usually don't, because there's only so much time. And I think as women, we have the tendency just to listen. And so we listen to everyone around us, to our friends, to our children, to our partners. And it doesn't happen very often, at least in my household and with the women I'm working with, that you have the time to actually talk about what's bothering you, or what's happened today that you like to share and then feel better afterwards. It's because of how we are structured as women, that we are the carers, and not so much being cared for often.
Yeah, so I wonder, because I know from my own experience, my health and well-being often gets put last. That's my own doing. It's not that the people in my family are saying, no, you must come last. So I do it to myself, and I'm sure many women can relate to that.
Yeah.
And so that's been a real conscious effort for me over many years now to really not do that, and to get better at putting my needs first and moving myself up on that list of things to take care of. So, taking care of ourselves and our health and well-being and putting our needs first. I mean, does that come down to really that feeling worthy of doing that?
Yes, I think this is the awareness is the first thing, that you are aware that you have to address that. And then I'm working with women in their 40s and 50s, and that's also a very important time in our lives because there's a lot happening. And weight gain is only one of the things that are happening. Our hormones change. It's an exciting time. Some women still want to get pregnant, others are getting into menopause. Exciting in quotation marks. More like a confusing time. So it's really important to now step back and look after yourself, because especially if you want to be the carer, because it's a nice role as well. But if you are not well, you can't really give yourself and offer help to the people around you. So this might be that you're grumpy because your hormones change and you just feel just strange and off. Yeah. Could be that you just have some real pains, or you can't sleep, or it's just so many things that are just getting in the way, and they're getting in the way of looking after others, but also getting in the way of looking after your business. So the awareness is the first step, that you know, okay, it's okay to do something, because if I improve myself, I will be better in all areas of my life. So it's nothing selfish. Actually, people around me, including my business, will benefit from it.
Yeah, absolutely. So awareness is the first step. So often do women miss that awareness completely because they're just so busy with the day-to-day?
Yes, so you just power through the day. And I often have this so when we start working, that is like, exercise, absolutely not. I cannot, there's no time in my day. So that we just really sit down and we just look, okay, so how does your schedule look like? So where do you have some time? The most significant change I had with a woman, she had 4 children, 3 of them were autistic. So really, so much on her plate, managing household and working. And then we started with just finding 5 minutes in the morning where she did something just for herself. And then slowly from that point, we started to increase that bit by bit until she was like, I think she then ended up with 2 slots of half an hour per week where she did her exercise. And it suddenly worked. So it's like, there's a lot of things that we do without being, you're not aware of it, that we are doing this. Could be the morning that we're just lying in bed and you're just reading your phone, and we'll have 30, 40 minutes away. And so then that could be something to step in. But you've got these little pockets throughout the day. So it's just really important just to look at this. And I do this like with a business head on, because I've been self-employed for many, many years. So that you just really think, okay, so you want to do something, where does it fit in? And then you allocate that slot into your week, put it in your diary, and then it's blocked. And you know this is happening. And you can do whatever you want during that time. It could be exercise, it could be maybe some meditation, so maybe healthy cooking. There's definitely a lot of options to spend that time for self-care.
Yeah, we do waste a lot of time when we're not being aware of it, right?
It goes quick. No.
So if one of your clients comes to you and says, like, I really want to get in shape, but I just have 0 time in my day, is that where you start with them, just finding those 5 minutes here and there?
Yeah, that was an extreme example, but it's often the time. So time is a really important component when I'm working with clients. So this is why I don't have anything that just take out of the box and say, this is what you do from now. So we just really look at what's your personal situation, because for all of us it's different. We all have different challenges. For one person, it might be really easy to do something in the morning. For others, the evening is the better time. Then healthy cooking, maybe someone is really passionate about this and is doing that anyway. For others are really struggling with this. So we just really look at, first we do a thorough analysis of your life and just see, okay, so what's your situation like? What are the challenges that you have? And so where can we step in? And there's always something you can do. So we have 24 hours in a day. And even if you just focus on your sleep so that you get better quality sleep, that can help with a lot of things. That you, from weight loss to being more productive, to being more alert. So there's definitely an area that I'm looking at as well. So I'm not just looking at the hours you have throughout the day, through your awake hours.
Yeah. So you've mentioned time and you've mentioned sleep, which I know used to be a huge one for me, not getting good sleep. What are some of the other challenges that you meet often with your clients when it, that feels like that's what's stopping them from taking good care of themselves?
So yeah, as you said, time is one, and then is the healthy eating, that because we have like so much information around us what to do. So maybe your friend is doing keto and she's doing really well. Someone else is with Weight Watchers, and another one just swears by going running every morning. And then maybe you've tried these things and it just didn't work for you. So it's really finding what works for you, and because that's the thing, is there isn't with like looking at your agenda, there's the same as for nutrition and exercise. It's not that everything works for everyone. So you just really have to find what works for you. So I've got a basic structure that we can follow, and then we start to fine tune it, so dial it in and just see, okay, so what's your body reacting to? And for me, it's mainly weight loss. So this is what I realized, that just every woman seems to want to lose weight, some a little bit more than others. So I'm mainly helping with that, so that we just find the right nutrition that gives you the energy, so that you have enough to get through the day, and overdoing it with the calories. And there's a lot you can do. So surprising, many are surprised that actually they're eating a little bit more than they used to, and because that then gives you energy for other things. Like exercise or this it's called NEAT. It's this non-exercise movements that you do throughout the day, and that would be everything like preparing food in the kitchen, doing the school run, just being busy around the house. So that's very important. This is where you need your energy, and the more you are active, the more energy you have, and the better you feel.
Yeah, of course. I mean, energy is so important, isn't it? It's more important than time. And that's really hard to get started if you are someone who feels like you have no energy.
Yes, yeah. It is, yeah. So that's the first thing. So, well, after I would say this is the first, and it's the most important. It's a few things that we do in parallel. So definitely look at your schedule, see where we can build in those self-care moments, but then really look at the energy. And so I start all of my programs with a nutritional cleanse, which is detoxing your body, but it's at the same time feeding your body with all the nutrition that you need, so that you feel great. So I'm basically giving you a reminder of what it means to be healthy and how that feels. And it's amazing. It takes about a week into this cleanse, and they're like, oh, my skin clears, I'm having all this energy suddenly, I can go to the toilet again without any problems. It's just so many things that it changes. And this is a really nice reminder of this is how you should feel every day, not just after you've done the cleanse. And then we try to maintain that great feeling so that you can continue. And then once you have your energy back and your body is nurtured with everything, then things are getting so much easier. So not just with your family, but also with your business, because you then you can focus, you can think clearly, and all of this is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, so let's just talk about business for a little minute, because obviously you've said you've been self-employed for many years, and all of our audience here in Australian Women in Business. So it makes a huge difference in your business when you are taking care of yourself and have the energy to do things.
Yes, absolutely.
It's really simple, but yeah. I mean, it's common sense, but for some reason, so many of us struggle with that.
Yes. So for most of us, we are our business. If you're lucky, you've got an assistant or you've got people working with you. But I think probably from what I gather, most of us, we are a one-man show. So if we are not performing at our best, then our business will not perform at our best.
Yeah.
But this is why I look at it like it's a project, So I'm just looking at what are my goals? Yeah. What is most important in terms of staying fit and healthy? And then I start, as I said, I allocate the slots, I put them in my diary, and then I think about, okay, what can I delegate? Because we never forget, there is other people usually around us, and we can give them some tasks. It's not that we need to do everything. So it's also an eye opener for many, just to think about what you can do, and just it's the whole operation that you manage. Usually, you manage your business and you manage the household and kids, so you can give them some tasks, and then that's taken off your plate. So then you think about what are the obstacles, what can get in the way. So all of us know that, and then we just really focus some time on thinking, how can we solve that? How can we make it easier that nothing gets in the way of what you're planning to do? And based on all of that, you think about how can you map out your day, week, months in the most logical and efficient way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know personally for myself, I'm really good at mapping out my week, month, days for the business, but often still neglecting that those self-care moments, and definitely massive improvement over the last few years, but it's still a thing, right? So I'm very, very good at mapping out business, but not so good at mapping out taking care of myself, I guess, just to put it really basically.
Yeah. So if you just imagine, instead of only looking at your business, you just look at yourself as well, and you add that to the mix, and then that's then your plan, including those slots. And it's a good investment. This is something to always think about. If you the best example is when you realize you need help, like with a project. And then you call someone to help you, and then you have to invest that time to brief that person, which is sometimes really stressful, because you're like, oh God, it's taking so long until they realize what I want from them. But it's important to invest that time, because further down the line, they will help you. And it's the same with your self-care. At the beginning, it might be a little bit of a hurdle to do that, but it will definitely, on the long run, it will serve you very well. And everyone will benefit from it.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, I think for those of us who are one woman business, or, it depends on you. And I always say to my clients, like, if you're not working, then the business isn't working. Like, and if you're not okay, then the business isn't going to be okay. I know I've seen it time and time again in my business, that it's a direct reflection of how I'm feeling, the success that I have. So, and you mentioned, Christina, that you've had your own experiences with this. That's obviously led you into this work. Tell us a little bit about your story and why you're so passionate about the work that you do.
Yeah. I was my health coaching business is my third business. I had a completely different one before that. So it was a sample sales website that I ran in London, and it was really good at the beginning for a few years, and then it slowly drizzled out and competitors came on the scene. But during that time, I developed some digestive issues, and I had some severe migraines. So those were the two things I handled with. And it was because I was so busy with building my business. There was no time to properly eat, properly move, slow down throughout the day. I was just like giving it all. And it was then especially the digestive issues, they slowed me down completely. So I looked like it was gray on my face. I had absolutely no energy, had chronic diarrhea, and I just couldn't function anymore. And I had to get to the point where nothing was possible anymore. And I then got help with that. So I then worked with a nutritionist back in London, and we did an elimination diet, took out the food that was causing the problems. And then by myself, because I was really impressed by what a difference that made. It really turned my life around. So I felt like a different woman. And that was initially through food and taking away the medication for my migraines.
Yeah.
Migraine stopped and my digestive issues were solved. And then I continued by myself with like detoxing my environment, everything around me, which is something that I wasn't aware of at the time, that everything you put on your skin, metlin into your body lotion can be toxic to your system and have some strain on your liver, which is important for hormones and especially for women in their 40s, it's crucial that your liver works well. And de-stress, that was a big one. Is to not be run the whole time. So to build in those moments and do some exercises. Helping me with that. Yoga is great for that. Start to meditate and just generally see what is causing me stress. How can I stop that at the source? So that whole package was the inspiration for becoming a health coach, because it was, for me, it was over about 10 years that I gathered all this information. I tried and failed and then came up with a good plan that worked. And then I could replicate that for my clients.
Yeah, it's amazing and very powerful, obviously, when you've lived through that experience. Yes. As many of us have chosen the work that we do based on previous experience. But I'm glad that you spoke a little bit there on stress, because I feel like stress is something that we all have, and obviously there's things we can do to slow it down, but we live in such a busy, fast-paced world, and in a world of information bombardment constantly, and one thing to the next, and at the moment the world's in quite a lot of turmoil that's in our face all the time. So have you got some tips for us, Christina, on how do we start to manage that stress? Because I know even those who feel quite resilient, like it's kind of there as a low-lying constant thing. Like even if you're not feeling like you're reacting to something in specific, does that make sense?
Yeah, you said it so perfectly with the low line. This is something that you often forget that. So this could be something that's happening in the world, like the pandemic, or now the war in Ukraine. But it could also be financial stress, and then your bucket is like 80% full already. So with something that is just happening in your subconsciousness, and you build up that pressure, and then something quite small it needs to happen to then push you over the line. So what happens is the first thing is to be really aware of that stress is not something that everyone reacts to the same thing in the same way.
Yeah.
You perceive something as stressful. So once you realize that this particular situation that I'm currently in, whatever, I have a deadline and I'm 5 minutes, whatever, before a call and I haven't prepared the call, that you're feeling stressed is only because you decide that this is stressful. If you realize you can change your thinking so that you just say, okay, so I've got my notes, it's a really nice person that I'm talking to, nothing bad is going to happen, and you try to get more into that mindset that this is not stress and start to breathe, then you have a good chance to get out of the stress situation. So it's firstly realizing I decided to find it stressful. And then one is that you watch your breath, so that when you're getting stressed, you're only breathing here at the top part of your lungs. So it's a very short, shallow breath. And then if you make a conscious effort to breathe in really deep into your belly, so that your belly comes out, and you do this for a few times, this has an effect on your nervous system, and you will calm down. I'm sure you heard of these breathing techniques. So one is the box breathing, where you breathe in on 4, hold your breath on 4, breathe out on 4, hold your breath, and you do this in a box. And for a very short time, this is only necessary. So it could be a minute, and you're feeling much better. If you are a little bit more aware of what's causing the stress, change your mindset, start breathing, and then if it's a stressful situation that is always coming up, then really think about what can I do for that particular situation that is happening on a regular basis to de-stress that. This could be whatever, preparing lunch. Maybe that's something that is stressing you because people are looking at you, or you think everyone's looking at me and they just want to eat something that you look at that particular situation and see, okay, what can we do? Yeah, can I prepare something that they can eat while I'm doing the lunch, or can they help me? Can we order something? Yeah, there's always a solution for these kind of situations.
Yeah, so much wisdom there, and I love that reminder that reminding us to take responsibility for our stress as well, because yes, the world is a stressful place, but you're right, it is a lot of how we perceive it, and two people can look at the same situation and have a completely different response. But that's easier said than done, I've got to say, because we have many years of this habitual way of thinking and reacting to things, and so we see something that we see as negative, and we go into a stress state about it. It's kind of habitual, isn't it? So coming back to the breath is, I find, really beneficial, and the box breath is actually my favorite of all.
It really works. Yeah,
it's so good because I'm someone who's prone to anxiety, and I have had issues with anxiety throughout my life, and box breath has saved me many a time. So anybody who's watching, if you need a good breathing technique, look up box breath, and it's very simple and easy to do, and it really works.
And you can do it at any time, at any place. You can almost do it without anyone noticing. So and this is why it's so great. And if you can't do these specific box breath with this count on 4, just focus on your breath that you're breathing in deeply. So like 3 deep breaths, they also help. And that one you can really literally do wherever you are.
I love that. So we're just a breath away from a different emotional state.
Oh, right? I like that. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So taking care of ourselves. Christina, we're already coming up to half an hour really quick. But do you have anything else in particular that you would like to add? Any last piece of wisdom?
I mean,
our ladies.
Yeah, just to summarize it, I would say is just be aware of that you are your most important asset in your business. Yeah. So, and once you see that, then look after this asset as you would look after the most important asset in your business. And that's with all the things that we discussed today. Just look at all these areas, and then planning. Planning is so important. Yeah. Just plan ahead. Never get caught in the situation, and because then we get back to stress, and then maybe some things are not going to happen. But if you plan it, then there's a very good chance that it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I love that. So you are the most important asset in your business. So if you want a successful business, you need to do all the things that make you successful in all areas of your life, in your health and your emotional well-being, and all those things. So looking at all those things. I know my business never works when I don't. So when I'm not fully functional. So
the sad reality.
And so often we think, no, we'll just push through on the business. We'll just push and push, and it just doesn't work that way. We push ourselves to burnout instead, and then it ends up taking a lot longer to come back, right? If you get to that point. So so you're saying there's no need to go all the way to the bottom till you have a crisis that you're going to need, months or years to come back from. Let's start paying attention right now and taking better care of ourselves, so that we're taking care of our business and our family and everything else at the same time.
Yes, super important. Yeah, look after yourself. It's like you've heard it probably before, but self-care isn't selfish. It is actually helping everyone around you.
It is, and it's totally necessary, especially in our busy world. Yeah. So Christina, where's the best place for people to get in touch with you, to find out more about what you do, like your website, your Facebook page, something like that?
The best way is to connect with me here on Facebook. Here on Facebook. follow my name, and then you see all the links. I can also post the link. I have a really amazing Facebook group.
Yeah.
But similar like this one, with some really fabulous women in there, which is focused on weight loss. And I'm going live in that group on a regular basis, and I'm sharing loads of tips around all the topics that we discussed today. So I can leave the link in the comments of the live.
That would be perfect. What's the name of your group?
It's Successful Weight Loss in Your 40s.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Good. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Facebook's the best place to reach you. So for everyone who's watching now, or if you're catching this later as a replay, get in touch with Christina if you want some more information on how she can help you turn your life around. And get that feeling amazing again every day, right? Which is how it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. We should feel great.
We should feel great. Yeah. We should not be going through our days stressed out.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's work on that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And if anyone's got any questions, you can pop them in the comments, or you can jump onto Christina's Facebook and get in touch with her directly.
Yeah, lovely talking to you, and thanks for the invite to talk.
Thanks so much. Thanks for being here, everyone. We'll see you again soon.